Hi everyone, I'm Anastasia and I'm the founder of Beyond Comfort. Thank you for being here and I really hope you will stay till the end and will get some takeaways from this video. And if I understand correctly, you are here because you are considering doing certain changes in your life or doing something about your health, well-being, perhaps certain things that are affecting you in your life, your balance within corporate life or certain habits, or just generally wanting to twist something and involve yourself more into fitness and health. So to start off, I really wanted to share a bit of my journey because I think that I've been in certain phases of my life for the past 12 years that could actually relate to a lot of people. And I really wish that I could speak up sooner. But as I didn't, now I think I have a great opportunity and great chance to share this with you guys. So I have been into health and wellness pretty much for my whole life because when I was in school and I was a kid, I was so energetic and my mom could never understand what to do with me. And one day my sports teacher just offered me to be a part of the volleyball school, and at first I had no interest, but then once I went there and I started training, I didn't realize how the 10 years have had passed. We had always really intense trainings. Our team was amazing. We were constantly the champions of Latvia in our age group. We learned so many valuable qualities within us. And one of them I can mention is discipline, which now plays such a huge role in my life, and resilience. And I think these were such great values and great qualities that I learned throughout those years. But because we were training so intensely and we were just following what our coach was telling us, which was very useful if you play in a team. But when we stopped and I graduated high school and I left volleyball and I decided to pack my bags and went to UK, I had this perception in my mind that I'm just gonna be this fit for the rest of my life and I don't have to do anything anymore. And I'll somehow get back into sports, but I don't know what to do. So I will figure out along the way. Well, jokes on me, because in 1 year's time, I just stopped completely caring about my fitness level and my body. So I went from this athletic looking a volleyball player to a person that gained 15 kg in one year, and it was such a shock to me and actually to my family. And I still remember how my mom first saw me after like a year, and she was shocked. My cheeks were exploding. I looked very, very different, so different. And I don't think it was like I was realizing back then. I just thought that everything is all right, and I don't think I even realized that I gained so much weight. But long story short, it was a very interesting time of my life, and for me to get back into like what I used to be 1 year ago, and without those extra 15 kg, I had to make some changes. But back then, because no one was really talking about this, I had no idea and no understanding what should I do and how to cope with this and how long will it take me to actually lose those 15 kgs. And my life was a whirlwind. As a person in the beginning of my 20s, I I cared more about parties, friends, doing a lot of adventurous things and just living my life. And health and well-being was never like a I guess a priority for me to think about and to consider. And I went to university, and it was also such a great time of my life because I went to Singapore to study for a year. And again, it was just so much of parties and a lot of adventures and friends and sleepless nights, constant sleepless nights, and so many different things that we were doing and traveling and eating because food in Southeast Asia is just the best food ever. It Health was never like a thing for me to think about. If the thought of me actually losing weight was crossing my mind, my approach was just stop eating, and that's it. And I thought that that would help me. And actually, now that I look back at it, a lot of people around me had this perception that you can only lose weight if you just completely stop eating. Forget about fitness, forget about activities, forget about like balanced eating or making certain changes in your life, just stop eating. And that's what me and a lot of people were doing. Of course, it was unsustainable. At some point, you get your mind and body into such state that it hurts. You realize that you don't have any energy to do anything. But you kind of like, because you have no knowledge, you just end up keep going. And then I only started some sort of like involving myself in understanding of like fitness and doing certain like activities was when I was doing an internship in Barcelona. And that was one of the first times that seriously decided that I will go to the gym, I will sign up and keep going there. And back then, the only thing I had was an HIT program that I randomly downloaded. And I thought that, okay, I don't want to be bulky. I'm not going to lift heavy weights and go and do all these like weird exercises. Like, it's intimidating. Just there's just only men in the gym. Why would I do that? I'll just stick to my mat and just continue doing burpees all the time. And I still remember the day when I first did like 3 sets of 10 burpees, and I couldn't walk literally for almost 2 weeks because my legs were in so much shock of what has happened. Why all of a sudden, after like a certain few years since I left volleyball, there's so much of movement and activities. And I started realizing that in what sort of a shape am I actually? So my understanding straight away is I should just do cardio. It was the time when the glute workouts and the kind of like the all fitness influencers sort of a thing started coming out more and more on Instagram and on social media. And I was very interested in looking at like what people do. But as I was looking at the women that had like muscles and everything, I was always scared that I will get bulky and I will become big if I lift weights. So my solution to that was just running. So I kept running. I ran around the whole of the Barcelona for 6 months. I only had Nike Run Club, and it was back then. It was just on initial stages. It just had like the run recordings. Didn't have any plans or anything. I had no idea what is pace. I had no idea like how long am I running, how fast am I running. I had no understanding of that. But now that I look back at those stats, my runs were actually so good. I always ran 10 kilometers. That was my max. And my best time back then was under 45 minutes. Now I run 55 minutes, 10 kilometers. So it was such a huge difference. So that was my understanding. But when I left Barcelona and went back to UK to finish my university degree, I started gaining back whatever I managed to do and complete in Barcelona. I did manage to go to the gym, but it was just such not a priority for me because at some point in my last year of university, I worked 2 part-time jobs, had to write a dissertation. I hardly slept. I I still try to manage to hang out with my friends and live my life and travel a bit and just so many things all together. So again, like my weight was just like fluctuating. And still, if I did go to the gym, I still thought that cardio is the solution. I should just stick to my treadmills and mats and burpees and etc. And it's just no way I'm going to lift heavy weights. It only came to a like kind of like a breaking point when I moved to Singapore after I graduated university. I think I started realizing more in what of a kind of like a shape I am and what is going on with me. So I signed up to the gym again in Singapore, and that was the time when I started taking weight training more seriously because I'm actually so grateful to these random guys in the gym that I first went to who just came to me and asked me things like, why are you doing 15-20 minutes intense cardio before you want to do your workout? Why are you always like pushing yourself and like doing these jumps and squats and burpees nonstop? Like, what are you trying to achieve? What is your goal? And that's where I started thinking, okay, well, maybe I should listen to them and try something different. Bear in mind, guys, back then it was just the consideration of physical fitness and physical well-being that what mattered to me. Nothing else, everything else, emotional uh, aspects, mental aspects, everything just did not exist to me, just did not. And I probably part of it was that I thought that fitness and gym will be solution to everything that I probably struggling with. So long story short, I kept going, getting like more and more confidence and understanding of gym and weights, and kind of like doing research how to do this exercise and this. And I slowly started understanding that, okay, it actually benefits my body. I'm not getting bulky. My fitness is much better. I am able to train cardiovascular and strength exercises. So there is a huge benefit to me. So why wasn't I like focusing on this? As the years went by, and the better I was getting in the gym, I was still sleeping terribly. Like, I thought that I can forever survive on a few hours sleep. I was torturing my body in terms of drinking alcohol and partying. I allowed myself to party till 6 a.m. and then force myself to go to gym at 7 a.m. instead of just taking a break and not doing, and then like recovering from such excessive amount of like alcohol consumption, which is really really not good for our bodies and has such a huge like set of consequences in the long term. And it actually took me such huge turn in my life to start understanding that actually those parts of my well-being are as important as my fitness, because for the past 3 years my overall well-being started declining, and because my mental well-being was declining, my physical well-being was getting affected as well, which resulted in me constantly losing either way too much weight because I was so stressed. And I'm the type of person who, when I stress, I cannot eat. And without understanding that, okay, I actually have to do something about my mind and dig deeper inside me and understand what is actually that is affecting me and what should I do in order to for this to change. And as I took an effort to actually get certified as a personal trainer, and then I did start training people as well, and actually kind of like trying to understand the things around me and like what is actually affecting me and why certain things are affecting me. A constant thing started coming into my mind: is what I do sustainable long term, or will I eventually crash at one point and won't be able to do anything anymore what I was doing? So long story short, I came to a point this year where doctors told me, okay, there is something about your health that you need to fix. And the reason why this health concern can actually progress further is stress and the way that you live. So this year was a huge turnaround for me. I took a significant effort to make so many changes in my life. I started thinking how my corporate life was affecting the way I think, the way I sleep, the way I stress, and whether it makes me happy overall. And where do I want to see myself as an athlete? And what do I actually want to achieve? And can I achieve all of that while doing what I've been doing with my body and my mind for the past 7 years? And the answer was no. And I did have to make a huge change. And I did realize that a huge part of this was my inability to actually balance my work and my personal life and all these aspects together to make this as a whole. And as I was always so passionate about sports, I always thought that I really want to help people that are in the same boat as I am or as I was. And I know that I needed help back then. I really needed someone to come to me and hold me by my hand and tell me, okay, don't do this, think about this, and look inside. Because in reality, all of us struggle to admit and speak about certain things that we are really, really unhappy about. And until we admit this and scream it out loud to the people around us, no one will ever know, because we never want to be seen as weak people, that we are giving up, or there's something, or we are ashamed to admit that there is something that is actually affecting our life. And I saw that the more I was opening my eyes, the more I saw that there's so many people around me that are in the same boat and in the same situation as I am. And this is why I decided to quit everything that I had. And with my experience and my knowledge and my empathetic approach of understanding how people feel in the situation that I was for so many years, I decided to launch Beyond Comfort. And why Beyond Comfort is because I actually realized throughout my experiences and pretty much my whole life is you cannot make changes unless you go outside your comfort zone. And this is something that has to be so crucial if you want to make certain changes within your well-being, your life, anything that you want to do. If you want to make certain changes, you need to go outside your comfort zone. And this is why I call it Beyond Comfort. I am now fully dedicated and committed to help people that are struggling in their corporate lives or want to make certain changes within their fitness, understanding of nutrition, or understanding of how stress affects them, or get guidance on overall how to balance their well-being, because all of us in the end need balance. We cannot go extreme in one thing and leave the other things behind us and just carry on our lives, because one day something will snap and we do not want to get into a situation that can really affect our relationships around us, our health, our day to day, or anything. So this is why I am really, really happy to be this coach for those who really need it. And I am confident that I can help with my experience and my approach. And because I do understand how is it like to be in the situation when you have no understanding of balance and you are struggling with something and you do not know how to reach out for help. And that is why my programs that I designed are really for those who are committed, who know that the change is necessary for them in their lives and they really want to make this happen. Because my role as a coach is to guide you and be beside you while you're making changes. And I really wish that I had that person back then, but I kept quiet and I never really wanted to understand myself. We will uncover topics like stress, the importance of sleep. I will teach you the basics and the more advanced techniques of fitness and why do we need it and why do we need to exercise. I will teach you about macros and why we eat what we eat and why is it important not to restrict yourself and eat meals that actually make you happy and not eliminate your favorite foods. I will teach you and explain to you certain things that also probably are not really spoken much about. For example, how to properly build a habit and break the bad habit, what alcohol and other things are doing to us. Why is it important to actually leave your desk and go outside after you are done with your everyday work instead of going on and on and on with the work that you're doing and being burnt out? All of these aspects, I'm really dedicated and really motivated to bring all of you. I believe that Beyond Comfort will bring a lot of significant change into people's lives. So if you're someone who is ready to make this change and you are looking forward to finding out more and talking to me, you can book a 30 minutes free call with me by proceeding into the link that I will link below. Just fill up the form, tell me about yourself, and I will reach out to you via WhatsApp and we will schedule a call. first 30 minutes will have no obligation to anything. It is just for us to chat, see the energy, see the commitment level, and whether we will be able to work together. And then after that, you will be able to explore the programs that I am offering, which will consist whether from 12 weeks program or 6 months program. And of course, 6 months will be for a more longer and sustainable approach, and 12 weeks will be a bit shorter and a bit more um, compressed and won't involve certain topics that will be discussed in the 6 months approach. So click on the link below, fill up the form. I'm really excited for this, and I'm really looking forward to speaking to you and offering my help and my expertise and sharing the knowledge that I have, because I do really believe we can find the balance in our life and improve our well-being and be happier in what we do professionally and what we do in our leisure time, and make room for everything in our lives. Thanks so much for everyone for listening to this. I really hope that you got some takeaways and you do feel yourself probably in certain ways the way I felt for the past 7 years or for the past 12 years throughout my journey. And I'm really looking forward to speaking to you guys. Thank you so much and have a great day, everyone.